So let's get inside. We have 1.5 minutes spectator delay over here on these, and we will have indeed Bad Boy and Song with Saracens and Berbers, an interesting lineup of civilizations here for Arabia, versus Vietnamese Franks, a lot more conventional and standard lineup. Vietnamese is actually pretty decent for laming, so that's something to pay attention for. There is a chance we're gonna have a lame here, but who knows? Other side, I think laming is allowed in the tournament. On the other side, Berber Saracens, that's actually pretty interesting and makes me think that we are going to see some very, very aggressive Castle Age play. So, cheap Berber Knights and potentially Saracen crossbows that just melt walls, melt buildings could be in the mind of Bad Boy and Song. On the other hand, this slightly unconventional duo of civilizations might backfire quite heavily if the game goes very long. The other thing to look at is that Say My Name is gonna have Franks with a great eco. Vietnamese also have a pretty decent eco. On the other side, Saracens, they have their market, but other than that, no eco bonus. Berbers, cheaper knights, and they have faster moving villagers, but still not necessarily the greatest eco of all, like if you compare it to Franks, potentially. Isn't there no board laming? I'm not 100% sure on those, but someone probably has read the rulebook over here on chat. Alright, so 2v2 capture rage time. Let's see how it's going. Oh, look at that. Here it is, 2v2 capture rage in 2v2 World Cup. I need to disable the clock, and everything seems okay. So here we are, 2v2 World Cup. Welcome everybody. This is going to be the deciders, the first deciders for Vietnam. Basically, Vietnam can only send 2 teams to the World Cup, just as any other nation. And since there are more very good teams signing up, they have to decide who represents Vietnam in the main league. We are going to have Say My Name and Seoul in red and yellow to the northern part of the map as Franks and Vietnamese. Other side is going to be Song, a pretty well-known nomad player in green as Berbers. And we're gonna have Bad Boy as Saracens in blue. He's a very, very good team game player. What's up with the score? Good question. Here is your score. So, let's see. We talked about the fact that Vietnamese are great for laming, and let's see. Both of these scouts from Bad Boy and Song team are moving forward pretty fast over here. That's actually a little bit surprising. Look at that. They're already moving up. Not sure what they are exactly looking for, but I'm pretty sure they're going for a lame. They're not a team with Vietnamese, so they have no idea where the opponent is, and Bad Boy might just try into a TC fire over here. Eats some damage from that town center, tries to lame some sheep, now tries to force that TC to team kill the sheep. Indeed, here it is, 1 sheep already lamed from his opponent, but I massively doubt that that would have a huge impact. On the other side, 1 sheep could be taken away from Song, so it appears that our cold color team, which is blue and green, are in a very, very aggressive start. So, thing is that Seoul lost 1 sheep, not really the end of the world. He can push in some deer and he's going to be fine with it. On the other hand, Bad Boy has lost quite a lot of HP on that scout, so I'm really not sure if this was worth it. Apparently, Say My Name's team isn't really thinking about laming, they just want to push in their deer and be done with it. Nice little woodland at the back for Seoul. Gold mine is okay as well. A little bit open from the right side is something I don't like. Other side, for Say My Name's base, this gold is actually pretty bad and he has a hill in front of his base, so I'm not a big fan of this. Alright, by the way, in the Capture Rage overlay, as we do have, like, Bad Boy really tried blocking that villager, but that didn't really happen, and he's gonna lose all the HP on that scout. Oh, that actually hurts so badly. He needs to save that scout, because he needs the information for later use. Like, if he loses that scout, he's going to be completely blind, to be honest. So, what team is Huang on? I don't think Huang is playing, but it's a good question. Someone has to look it up. I don't think that he's playing. Anyways, Song is going for some heavy walls over here for himself for the time being on the left side. Right side, now, he's bringing that elephant in with 1 fool on this villager. So, just a quick heads up. If your villager is carrying resources, like food here... What is that elephant doing? Oh, disaster! What was that pathfinding? I mean, the villagers were shooting from beneath the town center, and the elephant started walking all the way around. That's a disastrous lure, and it's not Song Song's fault. The elephant just started walking in the other direction for whatever reason. So, if your villager is carrying food, he actually is walking a little bit slower than when it's empty-handed, so you want to have your villagers not carry any food when you're going out to a lure, just for safety purposes. For Bad Boy, he's already going for some woes over here quite fast. He's got 5 on wood for now. Other side, Song Song going for some woes as well. And Say My Name and Seoul aren't really walling themselves. First barracks is out for Seoul. You're going to see the combined villager count in top. So 2 villagers lead for Bad Boy's team right now. In fact, what we're going to do is bring in a tech panel, which apparently is not working. So technically there should be a tech panel that shows each player's technologies, and for whatever reason that's not working. We'll have to see what's up with that. This is basically the first version of Capture that supports 2v2 in Definitive Edition, so there might be some bugs and whatnot. Yes, villagers carrying resources are slower. That is true. So I think Nikov told me that, or it might have been Dogao, but I remember at one of my coaching sessions we talked about that I shouldn't really do that because they're a little bit slower carrying resources. So, by the way, what you're seeing here is villager idle time for the players and TC idle time, and apparently Seoul had quite a lot of villager idle time for whatever reason. 5 minutes is quite a lot combined, coming in with what is going to be a Drush, I believe, because he's not going up to Feudal just yet. You can see it on top overlay. Everybody else is going up to Feudal Age, he's not, so this currently is looking like a Drush FC because he still has a lot of villagers queued up, so he would have like 26, 27. First militia comes in here, and that is already a barracks denied from Bad Boy. Boy oh boy, the lamer is gonna get punished here. Tried to lame Seoul, but that didn't work out, and now he's gonna have his barracks denied, which is a disaster for him. Because he probably wanted to go for archers. Honestly, he's got 2 on gold only, so there's a chance he wanted man-at-arms, but this barracks was denied. And, well, you're gonna have to delete that because you're never getting that up unless you pull like 6 villagers take this fight. But that's going to be horrible for Bad Boy to start the day with, who's actually pretty good in team games. So, well, that's not a great start for the cold color team. Other side, Say My Name, gonna go for some heavy voas over here. Stable out for him already. Other side, we're gonna have Song Song walling himself off. No stable just yet. Okay, there is the stable. Interesting position. So, well, full walls will eventually happen by the time I Say My Name scouts arrive, I believe. There is going to be a spearman here defending, which is fine until the walls finish. The problem here for Bad Boy is that he's just unable to get an archer range out. Rushes up a barracks right now. He needs to delete these barracks because otherwise he is going to be losing all the wood. Delete the barracks. If you allow Seoul to destroy that, you're going to lose all the wood. If you delete it, you're going to get some of it back, and he deleted it nicely. Archer range coming in right now. Cheap market helps quite a bit when you want to wall your base as well, because it's a big building. For now, scouts from Say My Name aren't really doing a lot. In fact, he's running into the spears of his opponents, so I think that Song Song is going to be perfectly fine over here. Looking at the villagers, it's 30 villagers right now for Seoul, and he's still not clicking up. So this is even a Drush FC, but a very late one, to be honest. I don't think he had a lot of food. Like, he didn't really push in the deer, so he's still taking those. Now clicking up the Feudal Age, but really this is a quite late Drush FC here for our yellow player. But he is going to take 1 villager away from Bad Boy. Nicely done overall. And if you take a look at the villager count, Say My Name's villager, or Say My Name's team have a lot higher villager count than it is for Bad Boys, of course. Part of that comes from the fact that Seoul is not up to Feudal Age just yet, and now that you have archers here, this should be a relatively easy cleanup. Scouts from Say My Name apparently ran inside the base here, but they couldn't inflict any kind of damage. So, Song Song is going to send his own scouts forward. Not really any place to hit their opponents at, to be honest. Look at this. Full walls for Seoul, full walls for Say My Name. So these scouts will pretty much have zero impact on the game. Anyways, speaking of capture rage, what you're going to see here is two bars. The red bar, like the darker red bar, shows how significant percentage you have from the required food to click up into Castle Age. Same for gold over here for each player. So you can see that Song Guardia has quite a lot of resources in the bank that would allow him to go up to Castle. Let's see, here are the resources for each player. I think I might actually keep it over here on this one because you can't see the individual resources for the players right now anywhere else. So Song, 500 food in the bank, getting on top of the gold. He's got 6 villagers on gold, 15 on food. So there is a reasonable chance that he's gonna click up pretty soon. Scouts, however, run inside the base of Bad Boy, and oh, that's a disaster. There was a hole over there, and that could be pretty problematic. Now, Saracen archers are helping quite a bit for the scouts to break through the walls here, but this is something that will need to be addressed. And Bad Boy, quick walls coming in here, nice so far. It's a pretty nice quick pause, but the gold miners are still exposed, and that could be quite a lot of dead villagers. Scouts do have the Frank HP bonus, but nothing else on them. But one spearman isn't enough. 2 more are coming in right now. Another villager goes down from Bad Boy. Not ideal. Unless they can kill some over here, that could be problematic. Now, that gate is pretty weak, and Saracen archers could help bash through that pretty easily. Villagers trying to wall behind, but the scouts are in. So I guess this is still better for Song's team. Because now they're inside over here, and Seoul has nothing to defend himself with. He went for a Drush FC, but still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age, and now he's going for skirms. Didn't lose a lot of villagers. In fact, I don't think he lost a single one over here. That's a skirm dead. But, oh, he's picking some more villagers off from here. Nice move from Say My Name. 69 to 67 is the villager count, but you have a lot of scouts and archers inside the base of Seoul. So, a lot of idle time. You have a defensive tower being forced already. So, I think that this is still pretty decent. You have Seoul and Song clicking up to Castle Age over here. Another villager goes down. Beautiful micro from Say My Name, killing so many villas with those scouts. But simultaneously, the bears are denied here. Archers could try to pick off some weak villagers from beneath the TC. 2 of these guys, or well, these are ladies, but whatever. You could just try sniping those with the archers. 2 of them are very low HP. And these scouts are still being so annoying. Nice move to cut off the escape path from them, and now those scouts should pretty much die. Or not. Say My Name is still looking for a villager to kill. I don't think there is any very low HP villagers that a single scout could kill, but he's still being annoying over there. So, looking at the resources, Bad Boy's actually pretty close to clicking up. You already have Say My Name. Going up to Castle, though, double stables only for now for Song in this one. Goes for a quite late blacksmith, if you ask me. So he doesn't have scale barding yet or forging, and he's up to Castle Age. So his knights aren't really going to have a lot of great upgrades. And it appears that archers will be added here by Seoul. Loses 1 villager in the process. That villager was kind of low HP, so it wasn't ideal for him. He's gonna have a slightly stronger eco than Bad Boy because he's Vietnamese and his opponent is Saracens. Oh, that's beautiful from Say My Name once again. Just the perfect use of that low HP scout. Finds 1 more villager to kill before dying. And here come the first knights. As I said, horribly under upgraded because that blacksmith is quite late. So, not a single upgrade on these guys. At least +1 armor would be nice, because if you don't have that, they're pretty much just gonna die super fast. You tested 1 villager with nothing carried, 1 with... Well, in that case, I might have received false information from somewhere else. It might have been like that in Wobbly. Like, I firmly believe someone, like, one of the players I think I was coached by, telling me that. Because I didn't know that either. So apparently that is not a thing in DE anymore. Good to know. That's good to know. It might have been a thing late, back in the days on Wobbly. There were so many things like that. I don't think that wheelbarrow makes a difference in that. And it's not even really relevant because this is important for borderlers, and borderlers occur when you don't have wheelbarrow. Anyways, that's an earlier crossbow time for Seoul. And as I said, +1 armor isn't really going to hold against crossbows like that, which means that Song Song and Bad Boy are actually going to run back and the wars will be finished. Now the problem here for Soul is that he actually committed to a defensive tower, so he doesn't have the stone to build an additional TC. He's gonna go for University Ballistics. Other side, I believe Bad Boy could actually add additional TCs, but he's going for University Ballistics himself as well. Here come the Knights, +2 armor already in for Say My Name, and it appears that we're just gonna have Knights from Song Song, no camos added just yet. So, for now everything seems peaceful. In fact, none of the players are super aggressive. We are gonna have a free TC boom for Song Song. Say My Name is also doing free TCs, one only for Soul, and I think one only as well for Bad Boy over here in this one. So looking at the military numbers, you can see over here 25 to 35. Bad Boy's team actually has a lot higher military numbers, and Say My Name and Soul, on the other hand, will have, I think, slightly better upgrades. Indeed, +2 armor for Say My Name and only +1 for Song Song. And that's quite a lot of crossbows and knights coming this way, and it appears that Song Song and Bad Boy are kind of off position. Now in a 2v2 setup, you probably want to hit the cavalry player, because the archer player has a slower moving army. You can see that Bad Boy is going to take forever to get in here, and by the time he's going to arrive, these knights will be roaming free inside the eco of Song Song. And unless he's gonna have some great quick walls over here, that wood line could be horribly exposed to aggression. On the other hand, these guys are kind of trapped in here, and it appears that Say My Name and Soul don't really want to commit to this fight. So they're just gonna run away for the time being when the crossbows arrive. And that is a beautiful second TC spot. Look at that. Double golds. So 2 TCs coming in for Bad Boy. Voyager count is slightly better for Say My Name's team. And on the other hand, that's a lot of knights, still just +1 armor. For Say My Name, you have +2, but the numbers might win the fight over here for Song Song and Bad Boy. Quite a lot of crossbows are in here as well with +1 armor. Soul doesn't have extra armor, so that I think a tiny bit compensates for the lack of armor for Song Song. And at the end of the day, they will pretty much just exchange armies. I don't think anyone is a clear winner of this fight. Maybe it might have been Song Song and Bad Boy, but they also lost quite significant numbers, so a lot of crossbows going down from Bad Boy over here. Say My Name has to pull back. Right now, Soul seems like the weakest link here in his team. So he has 1 TC and he's got 2 range. It's not really a huge army, so it's 31 to 20 right now. And if Say My Name gets pushed over here, he could be in trouble, because the crossbows will still be pretty efficient at dealing with the knights when you have a meat shield like the cavalry in front. And, well, Song Song and Bad Boy could just try and knock down the stables, or just run inside through a wide open gate, and that's a disaster for Say My Name. Now, these are Saracen crossbows, so they mill out buildings very fast. So they could indeed commit to the stable destruction. We have 3 stables here for Say My Name, so he's gonna be able to remass an army very fast. There will be a need for more reinforcements from Song Song and Bad Boy. And it appears they are indeed going for stables, but if that's the case, you want to use the crossbows as well to help out tiny bit, because these are Saracen crossbows, so they could really do quite a lot of damage to the stables. Here come the crossbows, but they are completely mispositioned in the middle of the field. No extra armor, so I'm not a big fan of this fight. Surround is there as well from Say My Name, though, so I think this is going to be a successful defense from their side, because they have quite a lot of knights here with +2. So that should be enough to hold this one back. Some more crossbows remaining, and indeed Song Song and Bad Boy are going to pull back. Slight villager lead in the favor of Say My Name's team right now. But I think that Soul needs to buy 100 stone and get a second TC up now, because he's just going to fall behind in eco so badly. Anyways, more crossbows incoming, and there isn't really a huge amount of crossbows from Soul, and they don't really have the armor upgrade either. So this could still be a fight that Bad Boy and Song Song could try to take. Just stay on the outside, try to snipe the stable with the Saracen crossbows, and force Say My Name and Soul to fight. That's actually a decent idea, because you want to take an open field engagement over here, probably if you are Song Song and Bad Boy, and not really cluster up over here where knights could pop out of stables fast. Say My Name losing some more villagers. Indeed, there is the first stable that's gonna go down. There is no saving that, even Lion joins the party, and there could be a second stable coming in, and apparently Song Song realizes that, okay, my opponent's archer player isn't really in this fight right now, so he's just gonna go for the camels, and that's quite a lot of camels in the party. The Lion is still killing stuff here. According to chat, Lion actually got 1 kill, but now this is getting worse and worse for Say My Name's team, and honestly, I actually thought his team is a little bit stronger than Song Song and Bad Boy, but for now, it is our Cold Color team being in the winning position. 2 stables went down, there is a need to rebuild these, but once again, against that many camels, what are you going to do? That's the problem. You need archers, like a lot of archers, but if Bad Boy just trades off his archers against the archers of Seoul, that's perfectly fine, because the camels will finish off the knights easily. And, like, clock is ticking for Say My Name is Seoul here, because the Saracen archers melt the building so fast, and look at that! Imperial Age coming in here for Bad Boy. As I said, he's actually excellent as a team player. I think we have seen him play in Ornlu's Big Nomad Cup, and he has been absolutely amazing there. He was probably the most impressive player for me, because I didn't really know a lot about him, but in team games, Bad Boy is an absolute beast. I think he might have been playing in Battle of Africa as well, I'm not 100% sure, but he has been pretty outstanding as a team game player, and right now they are absolutely in a winning position, and if they don't lose these crossbows and they're gonna get into orbs, it's going to be even better for him. He's just gonna melt any building and basically any army with that blob of arbalasts. Archer armor coming in right now for Seoul. I think once +2 hits they want to take this fight. So Bad Boy's team still needs to watch out, and that could be an awful fight. Knights are coming in to raid, they intercept the reinforcements. I think now you have to disengage indeed. So, picking off 2 crossbows, but here comes the big engagement. I think Bad Boy's team just wants to fall back right now. Wait until the Imperial Age kicks in, and indeed they're just gonna run back home. Look at that! That's absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure why you need a siege workshop for Bad Boy, because he's got crossbows or orbs that melt buildings. Probably just have a second building in Castle Age. Meanwhile, we have an absolutely even villager count between the 2 players, but that 68 villager uptime to Imperial and the Arbalast is going to have its effect on the game. So 77 army against 57, and you're holding the hill over here. That's quite a lot of camels in the party. You still don't want to engage this one. Arbalast and Bracer is coming in just yet. Luckily they have the hill, and that means that Say My Name and Seoul can't really siege this hill just yet, but if Arbalast kicks in here, that might be the end of the story. Bracer in 8 seconds, Arbalast in 23, they're just trying to poke and probe, sacrificing a few camels for the bigger good, and I think that is a castle drop if I'm not mistaken. Looking at the resources of Song Song, that is going to be a castle drop once he has the stone for that. Here comes Arbalast, and now that should be a disaster for Say My Name and Seoul. Might be a game-losing fight for them, because now no more cavalry in the party, archers are gonna get absolutely smashed, and Song Song is very close to dropping a castle right over here. Arbalast will just melt the buildings. Look at the military numbers drop for Say My Name's team. They will call it, and we have the first game in the hands of Bad Boy and Song Song. They both went to lame, didn't really succeed at doing so, and there were some scary moments for them when scouts ran inside, but ultimately Saracen power worked out for them. I was a little bit skeptical about picking the unconventional civs here, and as I said, you need to win the game fast, because Saracens and Berbers in late game aren't as great as Franks and Vietnamese, but they really use their power spike super well. And one thing I'm curious about is if Bad Boy was slung into Imperial or not. You can sling once you reach Castle Age, according to the tournament rulebook. So, oops, that's actually a little bit mispositioned, right? Yeah, you can say that's a little bit mispositioned. Boom, you saw nothing. Okay, so let's see, no tribute sent received. Bad Boy did this alone. He had a lot of gold in the bank, and also quite a lot of stone. He didn't actually make any castles, if I recall. So there is a chance he was just selling the stone over here with Saracen Market. So yeah, it's definitely Saracen Market usage being involved in this great uptime. Especially the stone count is what is telling this. So there's absolutely no castles on the field for Bad Boy, right? Where is that? Total castles, yeah, 0. You don't mine 1.7k stone if you're not making any castles. You're mining that to sell it with the Saracen market, and that helps quite a lot at getting that imp time, and then pretty much just seal the deal that way. So if you look at the military numbers, that huge drop for Say My Name was pretty much the end of the story for them. So we're going back to lobby here, and we're gonna add a score to Song's team. As I said, I'm a little bit surprised because, like, normally I think Say My Name might be the best of these 4 players, and I think that Seoul is probably comparable to the other 2 players on the other side, but I'm not super familiar with him, so I might be wrong on that. But regardless, the thing is that in this one, Bad Boy and Song were pretty dominating. Yes, this is a best of 5, that is correct. And the winner is going to be one of the teams representing Vietnam. The other one is going to be decided tomorrow afternoon. I will also cast that. So here's the draft. Let's see, we have Saracens gone, we have Berbers gone. Other side, Franks and the Vietnamese. So now it's home maps, starting off with the home map of Say My Name's team. I guess once we see the home map, we're going to be a little bit smarter in terms of predicting civilization. Let's see what's up. Okay, we're going nomad. So one thing you have to know about these Vietnamese guys is that they are actually pretty talented and very experienced in nomad. They might be some of the best nomad players in the world. So this is going to be a super interesting one to take a look at. We have Bad Boy playing Malians, pretty strong nomad civilization. Overall with the cheaper buildings. Mayans for Seoul, interesting idea. Okay, Song with Spanish, once again pretty solid nomad civilization, and Persians as well. One thing that surprises me is that we're not seeing Italians here, which could be still reasonable for the cheaper fishing ships. This is completely standard nomad that you're going to see. So, yep, and indeed, once again, recalling that we had Ornlu's Big Nomad Cup, I think during the summer, and I think one of the Vietnamese teams won Ornlu's Big Nomad Cup. I'll have to open up Wikipedia for that, but I think Bad Boy was part of that team that won the Big Nomad Cup. I think it defeated a team that had quite a lot of AM players. Let's see, Big Nomad Cup. Do we have that on Wikipedia? Ornlu's Big Nomad Cup, here it is. Ornlu's Big Nomad Cup. The first place was Hand Cannons OP, which was Finor, Miguel, Nikov, Len, and Sito. So that's not the Vietnamese team, but yeah, the second team, Oh My Gosh, ACCM, Say My Name, Bad Boy, and Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce will be playing tomorrow in the other decider game for Vietnam against, I think, Bakhti and ACCM probably. But yeah, Bad Boy was part of that, ACCM and Say My Name was part of that team. And I think Song is, like, Song is super talented in Nomad. You have seen him in Wobbly a lot of times in Nomad games. It's just, he just didn't play a lot of tournaments. So you're not that familiar with his name. Anyways, with that being said, we are gonna have game number 2 over here. I forgot to add the score over here, so give me a brief moment to do that. But Bad Boy and Song are leading in this best of 5 in the 2v2 World Cup deciders for Vietnam. This map is the first home map of Say My Name and Seoul. We are going into Nomad. This is completely standard Nomad. We are going to have an absolutely marvelous TC spot for Bad Boy over here. Look at that. He's actually right next to gold mine, right next to wood line. He's got a stone super close, a boar. He's got some turkeys, not super far away from border. Second boar, berries. This is a perfect TC spot for Bad Boy, if you ask me. Do you think Japan would have been a decent team if both Compton and Chart sign up? It would have been decent, but not among the best. Anyways, let's see their TC spots. You are gonna have a TC over here. Now, you cannot fight with villagers according to the rulebook until like minute 1.5 or something like that. So cannot just rush this villager down with 3 of his own villagers to do some damage to him. That's not really going to be allowed. Soul is also going to have a decent TC spot here, close to berries, close to hunt, close to water as well. Woodline is nice. And there is also some gold nearby. Say My Name's TC spot, also pretty outstanding, I would say. Woodline is nice, gold, berries close to it. One thing that makes this super interesting is that 3 of the players are pretty clustered together. So, like, Soul and Say My Name are in the middle of the map. Right side is Bad Boy, left side is Song Song. Song Song is all alone. So this is tricky, because technically, Bad Boy could be exposed to both players attacking him at the same time. But that could also mean that Song Song is left pretty much untouched, and he could just boom and then snowball the game. So we'll see how that shapes out. He also is a pretty nice TC spot if you ask me. Not in terms of gold spots, and if I had to guess, that's a restart. 328, and I think restarts can be called until the 4-minute mark. So why do we have a restart? That's the question. I believe it's Say My Name and Soul calling a restart because both players resigned from that team. So what's the motivation of calling a restart here? I don't see any. This dock is alright, although not perfect because there isn't really a lot of deep fish close by. I don't know. Maybe they just felt they were late dropping their TCs or something like that. I'm really not 100% sure. Maybe they just didn't like their own positions. That could be something. Maybe they were like, okay, we're in between 2 players. We don't really like it. Or maybe Soul was like, okay, I don't really have a safe gold. That could be problematic. Maybe Soul doesn't have a safe stone. That could be the biggest factor contributing, to be honest. He's Mayans, so you probably want stone to be close to you, and this is the closest stone. That could be something. Indeed, docks aren't great, like this one. Sure, you don't even have a shorefish. Actually, there is a shorefish hiding behind. But yeah, this one is going to be okay for some time, but like once you consume this and this, it's pretty bad. You have this dog just coming up. Once again, just one deep fish close to that. Yeah, that's also a good idea. Maybe Soul thought that he dogged the pond, and that's pretty bad for him. Yeah, I'm not sure. There could be a lot of reasons, but there is like no clear indication on why you would call a restart. It's more like, okay, I can imagine multiple reasons for a restart being called in this situation. Nomads have pretty common restarts, so I'm not surprised that players are using their restarts on Nomad, because like that's probably the map where you have the biggest like the most variables, if you want to put it that way, basically. Okay, where is the game at? Where is the game at? So the thing is that I believe that they're gonna have another restart. The reason how I know this is because the lobby disappeared, and like I just checked out Orlu, and he's actually looking at a different map than we did before. And now there is a new lobby being set up. So I do assume there is going to be another restart. And we're just gonna have to wait. Unfortunately, I couldn't jump into that lobby fast enough, because by the time I clicked on it, it just disappeared. So I guess one more restart. The beauty of live games, right? That everybody's just calling restarts left and right. Like, that's probably the biggest issue with hosting a live Nomad tournament. You could have like 10 restarts. Basically, even if you just have one restart per team, you're almost guaranteed to use that. Because players just might say, okay, I don't like my position on the map right now. And that's that. Alright, they are getting ready to Start. And indeed, here it is. So once again, we're gonna have the same civilizations. Did we have Ethiopians before? Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember Ethiopians being used here. I remember Spanish. Did they change civs? Yeah, it was Persians. What happened to that? I don't think they are allowed to change civs like that, so maybe they messed up the civ selection or something like that. I have no idea, but they actually changed civs, which is basically never allowed in tournaments. So, like, of course, maybe it's just because they are all Vietnamese and, you know, they're like, okay, you messed it up, whatever, just change it, type of a scenario. But technically, it's not allowed in tournaments. So unless your opponent specifically says, okay, we're fine with you changing, it's fine. But yeah, was it Persian Spanish? That doesn't really make a lot of sense because both of those are cavalry civs. Did they draft Persian? Yes, they did. I think they did draft Persian. We looked at the draft a couple of minutes ago. But yeah, Spanish Ethiopians. What? Ethiopians and Mayans? This makes zero sense. What are you even trying to do with Ethiopians and Mayans at the same time? Like, what's the plan? This is game number 2, and I'm completely confused. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they just messed up the civ selection right now. They might have been okay with the civ selection before, and they just wanted to restart on the map. But now they're like, shoot, we messed up the civs, because this makes literally zero sense. You don't have a cavalry civ, well, unless you want to make Ethiopian cavalry, which is like, Once again, we're going back into the lobby. So, try number 4? Yeah, it's try number 4, if I'm not mistaken. And this time, we have a little bit more conventional. Apparently someone misclicked. My next question is, it is Say My Name picking Persians now. It was Ethiopians for him before. How on the earth do you misclick Ethiopians to Persians? I understand if you misclick Franks with Ethiopians, because they're close in buttons. But Persians and Ethiopians are like, what? 5 meters away on your screen, aren't they? How did you even misclick that? That's so weird. Anyways, I think both players or both teams have used up their restarts now, so if all goes well, we're not going to see any more restarts, and we're going to finally see game number 2 in this one. So let's hope, let's pray that we're gonna have a game over here instead of just another restart. Alright. So let's go. Game number 2 in a 2v2 World Cup deciders between the two Vietnamese teams, Say My Name and Soul in warm colors in yellow and red, playing as Persians and Mayans. Other side, we're gonna have Bad Boy in blue and Song Song as green in cold colors. So let's take a quick look at the TC spots. That's actually a reasonable position for Soul. He's actually close to gold, close to stone, close to wood. Not necessarily a great spot, because, like, look at this. Not really super close to a lot of trees here. This is going to be pretty inefficient after a few trees being chopped. And super close to him is going to be Bad Boy with Malians. He also has some stone over here, so this is going to be a tricky fight over here. You have Song Song with a reasonable TC spot, not a huge amount of food around. Just 2 boars and 3 deer. Some box turtles as well. Not necessarily the best TC spot for Song Song. He's got gold and stone, which is nice, but his food income could be a little bit problematic. And isolated from the rest of the players will be Say My Name on the north, squeezing in 2 deers between the forest and the town center over here. Indeed, this is going to be a tricky question. Who gets the boar first here in the middle? Bad Boy has no idea that his opponent is over here. He's got no idea, I believe. Left side, I think that Soul has no idea either. So this is going to be tricky. Let's see who gets the boar first. Other side, it appears that Song Song and Bad Boy are going to know each other's positions by just pinging each other. I don't know why Bad Boy sent the turkey over here. He's just scouting turkey, but he sent it over here to his teammate's base. Alright, so apparently Soul starts out by eating the turkey. Other side, Bad Boy. Where is Bad Boy's villagers at? 2 of them are on wood. Oh, the third one is actually shore fishing over here because the third villager was so far away. So Bad Boy already has his dock up and he already has a fishing ship out. On the other hand, Soul, he has no dock just yet. All villagers just sending out a villager to get a dock up on the southern part of the map. And I'm not sure what's over here, but it appears that Say My Name is pinging this one for whatever reason. I think what he might be pinging is that this part is closed. So that means that ships cannot sail from this side to this side, which would actually make sense. Anyways, Boar is coming in here for Soul, and I think this is the moment when Bad Boy is going to notice, oh shoot, I'm actually very close to my opponent. He's going to see this turkey being lost over here. See? When you have a patch like this basically means that your turkey was lost over there, so there is someone over there. And at this stage of the game, your opponent is always close to his TC, so there is a huge chance your opponent has a TC over here. So Bad Boy now knows that his opponent has a TC over here. What is a little bit problematic for him though is that he doesn't really have a lot of food anymore. Like, he's gonna need to bring in some more, I believe, and that's an interesting house location. Maybe he wants to have some massive walls around his base. We'll see. Docks up for Song Song, not the best spot if you ask me. Like, no shorefish close by, not a lot of deep fish. Of course he cannot see the deep fish, but it could have been a little bit better over here close to the shorefish. Other side, that's actually a beautiful dock spot for Say My Name. He's gonna have multiple deep fishes close by, shorefish as well. And overall, I think his base might be the best of all. This is also a decent dock spot for Soul. He's got quite a lot of deep fish close by. And if I'm not mistaken, the only player without a dock... Actually, there is no one without a dock. Everybody has a dock now. Looking at the ecos, the lowest villager count, or, well, this is more like worker count because this also includes fishing ships, is at Song Song, and Soul slightly better for Say My Name and Bad Boy for the time being. Oh, look at this. Here comes Soul trying to lame away the Huntables. Not really doing a lot of damage with this, to be honest, because the villagers can still take these. In fact, they're close enough to the TC that the villagers can just walk in there and take it. Soul is running away with a damaged villager right now, but I don't think this actually hurt Bad Boy that badly. In fact, he's probably gonna be like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna take those. There's going to be some food decay on this, so it's not perfect, but I don't think it inflicted significant damage on Bad Boy's eco by any means. What could be a little bit problematic for Soul is that he's completely isolated from his teammate, and if Song Song is walling the way he's doing so, and the same thing could happen to Bad Boy, I can see Soul being in huge trouble. Apparently, Bad Boy wanted to go and maybe get a sneaky villager behind the walls of his opponent, not really succeeding with that just yet. So, Soul is very, very isolated from his opponent, or his teammate, and this pretty much means that he could be in huge trouble because he's gonna get double teamed here pretty hard. On the other hand, this could mean that Say My Name could have a free boom with Persians, and that's always pretty dangerous. So, let's see what's the plan for Bad Boy. He could still look around, like walk all the way around. If he could get a tower up on this wood line in early Fuel, that would actually be extremely impactful on Soul's eco, because like Soul doesn't really have a lot of good wood lines to work with. He has this one. If he goes to this one, it could also be towered on from the other side by Song Song. So wood denial is definitely something that Bad Boy and Song Song could be thinking about. Right now, the deer was actually helping out the villager there a tiny bit by blocking the board for a brief moment. So here comes a mill for Bad Boy. Apparently he's running out of hunt here pretty rapidly. And that is 4 villagers on a gold, which makes me believe that we're going to see fire galleys coming in here pretty rapidly. Feudal Age first for Say My Name. And, well, he could already start popping out fire galleys, which could be extremely problematic for Song Song, who hasn't clicked up just yet. What is he planning? With Spanish, he might think about, okay, I'm Vold, and I could see Bad Boy just delaying Seoul here. So there's a chance we're going to see Song Song trying to attempt a fast castle here for Conquistadors. But we're going to see. Like, it's not impossible, but I wouldn't really be a big fan of that. But he still hasn't clicked up. Sending Villagers to gold really makes me believe that this is quite late for Fire Galley play, and you can see that he is still adding more Villagers. So, Fuel Age coming in here as well for Seoul. And look at that, that's beautiful. Seoul is rolling in the stone mines of Bad Boy, so he cannot really get towered over here. Of course, a first tower is something you can always drop, but after that, getting stone is going to be a little bit harder, so I like this Laming Villager quite a bit. Bad Boy has actually seen some part of this wall, so he could see that he's being lamed over here. Anyways, say my name, not going for a single fire galley, and he's making a forward blacksmith. Interesting. Like, if he just made one fire galley here, he would have been able to idle the entire fishing eco of Song Song for quite a time, I believe. And looking at Song Song's food income, this isn't looking like a fast castle for me. Although he's got two extra stone in the bank for whatever reason. Not sure what's up with that. Anyways, it appears that Bad Boy is going to try to scare away his opponent from stone. And that is, I think, a tower. Nope, it's just Villagers mining stone for now. For Seoul, but I believe he wants to tower this gold mine from this side. That being said, Bad Boy, I believe, is gonna make fire galleys and he's sending them towards Seoul. Seoul is not making any of those. So he could start losing fishing ships quite rapidly. We have Villager being killed over here by Song Song's wheels. Two more are coming in here. And I think these guys wanted to lame the stone, but that was an awful idea from them. There is still a part of a wall which could be deleted, but they are just running for their life right now. And boy, oh boy, that's another Villager going down. Indeed, behind this, Say My Name has a fast castle going for himself, which could pretty much turn things around, but So has lost quite a lot of Villagers. He's down to 24, and as I said, he's got no fire galleys. So all of this fish could be idle or be killed pretty fast. Meanwhile, good old-fashioned Nomad gameplay, as you see over here. Just everyday Nomad things. Villager fight versus Villager fight. A lot of the wheels going down from both sides. But I think this actually helps Say My Name. Because Say My Name is the only player that's really untouched right now. And also Bad Boy is losing quite a lot of wheels. Loses the tower. Soul actually did a beautiful job with this towering. He's down to 21 Villagers though, because he's losing the fishing eco. So technically he denied the gold, killed quite a lot of Villagers. But his eco is still way weaker than that of Bad Boy. And if you lose the fishing eco here for Soul, he's not gonna have the food to make Villagers. He's got still quite a lot in the bank, but once that runs out, that's actually going to be pretty problematic to replenish the Villagers. Apparently, some fire galleys come in here. Say My Name has a beautiful second dock, and that is fire ship for him with a war galley upgrade. That's just gonna melt the fishing eco of Song Song over there with pretty little chances of being able to defend against that. That's actually awful for Song Song. He's gonna lose like 10 eco here in a few moments. And he doesn't really have anything to fight against this one. So fire galleys aren't really going to stop the fire ships. For now, Soul is running for his life to the northern part of the map. As there is a chance Say My Name is just gonna send like one fire ship to try and deal with all this fish. But I think Say My Name is the biggest winner of this right now. Dropping a second TC, so he's pretty much just gonna boom here. I could see him towering this wood line, which would be amazing from him, I believe. Now he doesn't really have the stone, but other option would be like something like Monk in Siege could also work. Just start denying this wood line with some mangonels, because then Bad Boy's just not gonna have the food income. Anyways, eventually the ships here will go down from Seoul, but same is going to be the fate of Song Song's ships. So at the end of the day, Seoul is pretty low in terms of Villager count. The rest of the players are pretty high, but what is really going to stand out is Say My Name's eco. Castle Age is there for Song Song though, so hold on. This might not be over just yet, and indeed he's dropping a castle here. Some more Villagers are coming in from So, as he's trying to tower the wood line, the castle is eventually going to clean that tower up pretty easily. And the Conquistadors could be a pretty devastating force to deal with. The problem for Song Song is going to be that there is monks coming his way. Meanwhile, there is still no war galley from him. His fishing ships are idle for the time being. I like this dog being replaced, because right now the only player from Say My Name's team making fire ships is Say My Name. And Say My Name cannot get over here right now easily. He needs a lot of time to walk all the way around. Bad Boy is also going into Castle Age here, so unless Soul clicks up pretty fast over here, he could be in trouble. And looking at his food count, it's not like he's gonna click up any moment, because he has 1 villager on food, so he's soon gonna have a lot of T-Saddle time as well. Conquistadors are in the party, and those villagers could go down extremely fast as well. They will have to run for their life. One of them is low HP, so you could snipe that. Indeed, beautiful moves once again. And I think that it is in the hands of Say My Name to carry this one. Because, well, right now, Soul is quite in trouble. Now, I think what Soul wants to do is drop his own castle as well. He's got 11 on food once again. I'm not sure where those villagers are at. But, like, he's gonna lose quite a lot of villagers here on this tower. This tower is still standing, but I could see Bad Boy just trying to relocate his base a tiny bit over here. More monks and mangonels on the way for Say My Name. So this TC is actually pretty exposed right now, but on the other hand, 26 villagers for Soul. He's pretty much dead, and slinging is only allowed once you're in Castle Age. So as long as Soul is in Feudal Age, he cannot even sling his teammate. Nice defensive tower over there for Bad Boy for the time being. And where are the Conquistadors at? Conquistadors are running around right now. You pretty much don't really want to engage this one until you have something to snipe those monks with. Instead, you are going for the stone mine, as Song Song is doing. Soul is losing quite a lot of villagers. He might just get camped beneath the tower, indeed. Conquistadors will just camp beneath the tower. They can deal with those buildings rather fast, and then villagers inside the tower, which is just 2, could still be killed as well. Yo, Tristan. Hello. I think the draft is actually pretty outdated. And that siege workshop might actually get denied, but 3 monks, 5 conks, not a fan of that fight for Song Song. So still 24 eco only, that is composed of actually 9 villagers on food. There is 1 conversion in. A reasonable fight for Song Song, if you ask me. Not anymore, 2 conversions. So, pretty much an even fight over here. Mangonel on the way for Bad Boy. So, for the time being, Say My Name's got a crazy sick eco behind this one. That is 2 TCs plus Fish Boom. But Soul is pretty much dead. And he could get castle dropped by Song Song once again, looking at that stone count. And that second castle is gonna be placed over here. I can tell you that much. Alright. So, the Mango will need to pop out, snipe the Monk, and then Conquistadors can just move in and finish off the rest, I believe. Mango pops out, nice shot. Maybe even finishing off those. Beautiful micro, by the way, from our cold colored team. Indeed, that's pretty much a cleanup. The problem still persists though. Huge eco for Say My Name, that's actually 3 TCs. Plus, you have the fish behind this one. So it's still better eco for Say My Name's team, despite the fact that Soul has 27 alone. The problem for Soul is going to be surviving. What were the saves for game number 1? Game number 1 was Franks and Vietnamese for Say My Name's team, and Saracens and Berbers for the other. What are the dots over the H shields on top of the scoreboard? Good question. The dots actually show you how many buildings you have from the prerequisite ones to click up to the next stage. So 2 green dots for Song Song pretty much mean that he could click up into Imperial because he has the buildings. In comparison, if you look at Bad Boy, he's got 1 full dot and 1 empty, which means he only has 1 building from Castle Age that is needed to click up into Imperial. So it is somewhat correlated to these numbers over here, or these bars that are showing how much resources you have to click up, and these are showing how many buildings you have to click up. On the right one is a castle. I don't think that it actually shows a castle. Oh yeah, it actually does. So as you see here, dot dot, this is two normal castle age buildings. And I think that's actually, it's pretty hard to spot, but this is actually a rectangle. This one is circle. So the circle is the castle, the rectangle is the standard buildings. So what you see here is that Song Song has one castle age building that's standard and one castle. Other side, for Say My Name, it's two standard castle age buildings with no castle. But it's pretty hard to spot, it's so small. And I'm actually having a pretty big monitor. Alright, thankfully the Persian TCs can withstand a lot of punishment, but that takes quite a lot of wood to repair for Say My Name. Even more importantly, did I mention you're gonna get castles dropped in your face if you're Seoul? I feel like he's pretty much just dead. Like, super dead. And slinging is only allowed once you're in castle, so unless you get up into castle age here, you're not gonna sling your teammate here at all. This is looking pretty bad for Say My Name's team, because they're already one game behind, and despite the fact that Say My Name has a great eco alone, now if you look at the combined one, it's actually pretty close, and Seoul might just die here. He has nowhere to go. He's trying to get some food over here. Not the best meal for the berries I've ever seen. Of course, it actually went for the boar first, but still. If the Kongs find those villagers, that's like -20, and it appears Kongs will dive in. Camel switch coming in for Say My Name, finishes off the mangonels, but now he's dropping in villager count, so I feel like Song Song and Bad Boy will be satisfied with that type of a fight for them, especially with that castle going down. Like, Seoul is trying to survive here and hoping that Say My Name carries him. You could actually run here and use the TC to help out against the camels. Apparently Song Song is not doing that. I wonder if he knows about the TC. He knows about that, so this is a little bit surprising. Yeah, Tristan, I also thought Say My Name's team is going to win, but I actually think it's two even teams. If I had to predict, I would have set 3-2 for Say My Name's team. But now I'm a little bit more skeptical about that. So the TC still stands, but it's 80 villagers for Say My Name, and now it's 117 combined for Bad Boy's team. Seoul is still at 37 and he's about to lose his TC, or he's repairing right now. So I guess he's fine for a little bit more time trying to survive, but he's got no fishing eco. Oh, poor villagers even getting burned by the ships. So this is not looking great. Kongs cleaning up the camels. Once you have a decent amount of Kongs, they will just be able to out-micro the camels in this. And look at that. There's absolutely nowhere to go for Seoul. He's losing villagers faster than he can replenish them. Finally, Castle Age though, that's actually pretty good for him. What were the home maps? Honestly, I don't know because I wasn't in the lobby when they discussed that. So I have no idea about the home maps. But Nomad is apparently one of those. I don't think Team Islands is there because you don't have any clear water sieves for both sides. We might see Arena because we have Burmese. But as I said, I don't have 100% info on that. So once you get into Castle Age for Seoul, he can make additional TCs and reboom a little bit faster or just slink his teammate. But I feel like that's going to be a very aggressive castle being dropped somewhere. Like, probably right over here. And oh, look at Bad Boy. If you remember that series from Ornlu's Big Nomad Cup, Bad Boy and the Vietnamese team were actually castle dropping the AM team, I think, on a cross in one games. I remember that game. It was just full of castle drops. They dropped like, what, 10 castles. And, well, this is looking pretty grim for Say My Name's team. Right side, well, Seoul is still trying to survive, 26 villagers, and like, these guys are just gonna get killed by like 2 conquistadors, or even just make 2 Geppettos and they kill these guys. Right side, these villagers are still alive, slightly inefficient with those berries though. And this TC is still standing, which is a pretty impressive thing. Actually, if you had a Mangonel here for Bad Boy, that would be super helpful, because Seoul can't kill a Mangonel. Like, a Mangonel can come in here and start mangoing that down. So, Imperial Age on the way for Say My Name. Not something to underestimate. He's gonna have a hilltop castle here. So technically, he can still trap these down. He's not dead just yet, and he's got a 93 villagers now. He's still behind in eco in terms of combined value, but they might be hoping that Say My Name's Imperial Age time can actually carry them. Look at the score for Soul. He's just being the meat shield right now until Say My Name is able to boom up. But the problem for Say My Name is that he's running out of map here. Like, he's got no reasonable minerals at the back of his base. He kind of has to fight for these gold and stone mines. Not really able to run to the right side either, so he's just running out of space and running out of resources at the back of his base. Which is the Imp TC? Imp TC should be somewhere at the back, right? Yeah, this is the Imp TC. Baron Graham on the way as well. Look at that. Just a gate coming in to prevent the rams from rushing down that castle. Meanwhile, 25 villagers for Soul over here in this one. And Say My Name actually getting a TC up over here on this gold mine. That's actually super helpful for him that he could sneak out a few villagers. But once again, I'm still not 100% convinced that he's going to be able to win this one. Robo, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. Oh no, Vietnam is losing. Vietnam will win anyways. Indeed. If you're a Vietnam fan, this is a perfect matchup. So that's quite a lot of ranges, and I wonder if we're just gonna see Commandaran crossbows. You don't have Commandaran for Say My Name just yet, I believe. What is he up to? The trash bows here will be super useful because one of the things that he doesn't really have is gold. The problem that he's gonna face right now is that that's a lot of conquistadors inside his eco, so he will be forced to take this fight. I wonder if he's going for heavy camo here. Nope, no heavy camo coming in just yet for him. And it's just +1 armor for those camos, so far from ideal. He's gonna go for full trash bows right now. And well, that's a beautiful choke point for Song Song to take that fight at. And looking at the resources, Imperial Age is just coming in as well for Song Song. They're gonna have a castle over here, a castle over here, castle over here, so they can mass traps a lot faster than Say My Name can. In fact, Say My Name hasn't even made a single trap just yet. So these castles still stand. So, on the way to reboom though, he's gonna lose this TC, but he has this one. And that's all, I guess. Barracks for Bad Boy just yet. Now, Malians don't really have great skirms, but against just Persian trash bows, it could actually work out. Like, why not? Or you could go Malian Arbs that do not have Bracer, but they are still acceptable when you have this big lead, I would say. Because right now they still have the military lead. Because Soul is just not a factor in this one, especially now that he has lost his TC. So that is once again like 20 wills killed. And the only reason why he's alive is because he has some villagers over here, and he's got some villagers over here. But he's dropping down to 25, 204 wills against 130, and that's almost exclusively Say My Name. First trap is almost out, but it's 2 players going into Imperial. Trash bows with reasonable upgrades. And now that the war is also in the hands of Song Song's team. So we could see some war galleys just harassing the shoreline. Not really a lot of space they could deny, but it could still be considered. Because there is just no way that Say My Name can actually do anything against that. He just doesn't have the capacity right now to mass a fleet as well. He's basically playing 2v1 here if you look at the villager numbers. 118, 111, 10 villagers only. 4. So, and he's gonna get castle dropped over here on the right side. Look at those walls. Look at those walls from Bad Boy.
It's a trap.
Oh boy. There is no escape from here, my friends. There is no escape. And that's going to be -5 villagers as well for him. And there's actually a hole, so the conks might run inside. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. Camos and crossbows looping around their castle on the way. First castle is down, but I don't think it really matters right now. We will have squires and a scale mail. What is he up to? Champions? Why would you do that against conks? Hubs, once again, not really convincing against conks. So I'm not sure what the barracks are meant to do, and apparently it's going to be pikemen. For Say My Name over here. Kongs are just camping beneath the TC, not necessarily something you want to do here, because that's a Persian TC, so it can still do quite a lot of damage and kill you until you finish it off. But yeah, this feels like a lost game for Say My Name's team. I don't see a way to come back. Say My Name is cornered in here with little map control, and I think no access to gold now. So he's got 9 villagers on gold somewhere. Yeah, these villagers. Now he could actually secure this gold mine, and he still has a pretty formidable force. They need to be able to deal with this blob of crossbows still, and okay, now here comes the cavalry. So Bad Boy, he was basically making no military the entire game. So now he's going to start adding cavaliers with Farimba. +2 armor, not amazing, but it should be enough. Cavalier +4 coming in right now. And eventually there is going to be pikemen on the way for Say My Name, but like he is still 1 versus 2. Conquistadors and cavalry here should be able to finish this one off without any further issues. And like at some point, Seoul is going to run out of space to run to. Like these villagers moving out to take this gold mine. There's still 2 freight TCs over here for Seoul, and funnily enough, Song Song sees that, so he should be able to just finish these off at some point. They're probably just a little bit more focused dealing with Bad Boy. Thumbring as well in for Say My Name. But they're just waiting for the cavalry numbers right now to pile up. Decent already, that's also Farimba in already. No forging or iron casting, but Farimba and +4 armor should be able to take this fight. And there's a few hubs in the party, but that's a lot of conquistadors. Actually, elite conquistador with +4 armor. That's actually fully upgraded, I believe. So that's quite a lot of hubs going down. And if this gold mine is gone, I feel like the chances for Say My Name's team is gone as well. Oh, Tristan, that's awful. They don't have heart, but they have soul. Indeed. Indeed. And Say My Name is pretty much losing all of his villagers trying to get that TC up, which is never gonna go up. That's the end of the story for them, I believe, over here. Just no eco anymore. It's 2-1 in terms of eco numbers. And, well, at some point, you're just gonna get overrun by cavaliers here. They don't even need to take this castle down, they just need to run in with like 20 cavalier and finish this off, or Farimba light cav, whatever works. There is Capped Ram coming in, and indeed, we have a 2 games lead now for Bad Boy's team. They're looking sharp, and Bad Boy is an amazing team game player, but Song Song is also doing a pretty nice job, I have to say. So far, they're close to becoming Vietnam B. Vietnam A is going to be decided upon tomorrow, I believe. So, add a score to Bad Boy and Song Song. And look at that, 175 to 43. That's actually pretty impressive. Of course, you have Conquistadors, but still, that was actually pretty cool. Poor Seoul got absolutely smashed over here, 20 to 71 and 24 buildings lost. And Song Song, he had a pretty decent boom behind this one. 141 gold from relics as well, but 125 was 124 only for Say My Name. But the problem here was that Seoul was just isolated from his teammate, and he pretty much got double teamed and destroyed. Yeah, that feels bad. That feels super bad for Seoul. It seemed like Say My Name might be able to carry that for a brief amount of time, but then once the Monk and Mangano push was stopped and Song Song was able to get to reasonable Conquistador numbers, it was pretty much downhills from that point. Okay. So, we have Spanish gone and we have Malians gone. Other side, we have Persians gone. We have Mayans gone. We still have Aztecs available for Say My Name's team. We still have Vikings, Indians, Italians, Huns, Burmese. As I said, I don't know the whole map, so making guesses is pretty hard without those. But I'm fairly certain there isn't really team islands in this, because there just isn't any clear other war receivs. Like, other than Japanese, they don't really have any other war receivs for Bad Boys team. So if this tournament has team islands in this series, then this is an awful draft for Bad Boys team. And I massively doubt there is team islands in the home maps right now for either of the teams. Which basically means that Vikings is just picked for the Archer and good eco role. Alright, let's see if we have another game here. They're actually pretty fast setting up the lobbies when they don't screw up the Civ selection. And we're going to Arena, ladies and gentlemen. That's a quick switch. We went from Arabia to Nomad, and now we're going back to Land of Clowns, Arena. Okay, so what's up with that? Lithuanians or Teutons? That's the big question here. Lithuanians can be pretty scary if you can get the relics. Teutons are overall super scary on Arena. Great eco, you have super strong cavalry, and mobility isn't that big of a problem on Arena as it is on other open maps. So if you want to use Teutons as your cavalry civ, you're using it on Arena most likely. Ethiopians is still there if you want a traditional archer civ. Chinese is there as well. Technically, Gods could be an idea, but I'm not necessarily a fan of that. Other side, I think this is the moment when you're going for Aztecs. And maybe Burmese. That could be an idea. If you're afraid of your opponent picking Lithuanians, picking Burmese here makes a lot of sense. Can you link the draft? Sure. Give me a moment to do that. Alright, I actually will edit the command as well. Boom, here it is. So now it should show the appropriate one. I can send it on Discord as well if you need, by the way. Alright, so let's see if we have the game up. So Land of Clowns. Burmese, if you want to use Burmese anywhere, I would say Arena is the best place to do that. Why are Chinese bad? They're not bad. They're just not special, I would say. Like, they have a good eco, they are super versatile, and boy oh boy, we have an interesting matchup over here. Burmese Indians versus Teutons Japanese. The Japanese is a bit of a head-scratching pick for me, if you ask me. But here it is. Just remove those buttons over there because we don't need that. So game number 3. And what we have is Bad Boy and Song Song with Japanese and Teutons. Like, Japanese are nice, but I don't get that either. What do you exactly gain from Japanese here? It's a mystery to me. Like, fishing, of course, is not a thing. You have the cheaper lumber camps, mills, sure, nice. It's an overall nice civ, but I don't think that they are super, super dominant. I love the Teutons. It's actually a great one. For Song Song, we have Say My Name with Burmese, pretty straightforward, and Indians for Seoul. So, this is tricky. This basically means that Lithuanians is unused by Bad Boys team. They will be able to use that later on if we go to other games. I feel like Japanese could just be because, you know, it's a decent archer civ, has an okay eco. Indeed, it's a little bit surprising that we are seeing that. But I mean, it's not a bad civ, it's just nothing special. Indians here are actually going to be pretty scary though with their camels. So that's going to be pretty important to consider. Also, indeed, cheaper villagers help quite a bit at booming. You already have 1 Ibex being pushed in. Now, looking at the relic distribution, that seems pretty even, and it appears that in this generation, geese still spawn on the outside, so the first thing you probably want to do is just send your scout out and make sure you actually bring those geese in. This is a pretty awful base for Say My Name, if you ask me. So, being open like this on the right side is not great. He could definitely consider just dropping 2 houses here to block this, because he doesn't really have a lot of space at the back. Like, normally you want to have some space at the back, like this, for example, but there's just no space for Say My Name. In fact, he has very, very little space to work with. Compared to Song that has quite a decent amount of space at the back. Not a lot of space either for Bad Boy or Soul here. It's somewhat surprising that none of these players are really starting off by deleting the walls at the back of the base. If you take a look at how Arena Clowns play, they start off by deleting those walls in the first second. They probably just want to make sure that they don't accidentally delete walls that they would need. Because it's a tournament, you don't want to just select all walls and accidentally delete everything. We have seen that happening. Alright, so everybody's doing gear pushes. So I wonder if we're just going to see fights for relics and pretty much boom behind that one. That could be an idea from both sides. Burmese, of course, have vision on the relics here. Not really a big deal, to be honest, because eventually you might still move out with your scout and scout them, but you're going to start off by pushing in the deer in the first place. So already 3 Ibexes in for Say My Name. He's going to consume those first before bringing in the second boar, which is perfectly fine. Same thing for Seoul, and he didn't lose a single villager, but those Palisade Foundations make me believe that he was very close to losing a will over there. So luckily for him, no villagers getting killed just yet. It seems that most players have a fairly reasonable map with the gold spawns, like gold at the back, stone at the back over here, here, somewhat over here. Not the best stone for Say My Name. Really, Soul is the only player that has a pretty bad gold to work with. Far from ideal, but not really bad either. Alright, so now is the time when we're just waiting and pretty much hoping something happens. That's a nice kill from Bad Boy. Didn't lose the board to the TC fire. And interesting to see that Soul is actually seeding farms from the left to the right. Oftentimes it is said that you wanna seed from the right to the left because you can fit those in a little bit better like that. So one over here, one over here, one over here, and so. So I think Nikov told me that it's a little bit better to seed from the right to the left. Not really a big deal. It's just a very, very minor thing. So Soul is not doing that right now. And the other interesting thing to take a look at, like see, this is how it's usually done. It's, I think, a little bit more efficient when you are placing farms over here. And considering that Tristan is here, this is something to really pay attention for, you know, just not having T90 farms. So something that could be done here with either civilization is just go for a rather fast feudal age and get the eco upgrades. You can still pretty much have a comparable castle age time to other players, but you will have the eco upgrades. I think that's something that was done in Clown Cup by some players. That you just go for a rather fast feudal, get the eco upgrades, but then pretty much just don't make military and you will still have the same feudal or same castle age time, or at least something very comparable. Anyways, let's take a look at the Burmese player, and indeed we have 3 villagers on stone here for Say My Name, clicking up at 24 wills. That's actually pretty tough. Is he gonna be able to squeeze out the fast castle here with 3 on stone already? If he does that, that's actually an amazing FC. Because 24 is super fast for a castle addition as well. We'll see. So he's definitely adding farms, which means that he wants to go for a castle age immediately. Looking at those resources, it looks reasonable. But he's halfway up to feudal. He's still going to have to queue up 2 more villagers, so that's minus 100 food. It's tight. This is going to be super tight for Say My Name. I'm still not 100% sure if he can squeeze that in. But if he does, then this is an amazing fast castle run by play for him. Other side for Soul, he is just going for a standard FC. There's a chance we're just going to see Say My Name trying to play around with your run by and be aggressive and allow Soul to just boom and pretty much snowball the game with imp camos later on. That could be something to consider. Market. And Blacksmith coming in here for Say My Name. This looks like he can actually pull this one off. Maybe he needs some idle time on the TC, but it might still be worth it for him. Because he's gonna have a pretty decent run by build. But he really needs to do some damage, or at least make sure that his teammate can boom freely. Because if Soul doesn't have the biggest boom over here and he cannot snowball the game with the camos, it could be really problematic. The other problem is that, yes, camos can be scary, but if the Teutonic player, let's say, goes Habdi or Ram, it could be a lot more problematic for the camos if you don't have a decent amount of run by that can deal with the hubs. And, boy oh boy, Say My Name squeezes out a 24 plus, actually 24 plus 3 for him, but still, that's actually pretty decent. 24 plus 3, and looking at the stone count, he might have enough to click up to, or to drop a castle immediately. I think he needs like 1 or 2 more villagers on stone to get that out, but that's actually pretty impressive. Alright, we have a scout fight over here, and it appears that Song Song is about to lose his scout over here. Say My Name is a pretty low HP scout. Where's the scout at for Bad Boy? He's just coming in to help. Right now, only 5 HP for Song Song scout. Let's take a look. Nice micro so far from Song Song and Bad Boy, but that scout could still die. Here comes the other scout from Say My Name. Indeed, this is actually a pretty good engagement for Soul and Say My Name. Spearman comes out for Bad Boy. So this means he's gonna start adding archers. Hello there, that's actually something unexpected. An archer play from Bad Boy with Japanese on Arena. Not gonna lie, I'm impressed and I'm surprised on this. So what's the plan? Is he gonna go like crossbows and forward siege workshop? That's only the reasonable thing to think about. The problem here is that you're not going to be able to push the Burmese player with the mangonels because the castle is going to be up by the time you arrive. So the only thing you could achieve here is pushing the Indian player with mangonels and crossbows. It's actually very funny. When I was playing the TNT Discord tournament like half a year ago or so, I was like, okay, I need a build order for Arena Fast Castle Archers. And I asked, I think on Project Belgium's Discord, and he said, okay, we need some Arena Clowns to help me with a build order for Archers on Arena. And he was like, someone from the Arena Clowns responded, saying, well, we don't do Archers on Arena. Guess what? Here's the Archers. Once again, the castle is going to be up. So what do you achieve with this? I'm not sure. Now, crossbows are actually pretty decent at dealing with a Rambai in the early stages because a Rambai aren't really resistant to a lot of arrow fire, and it's just much easier to mass crossbows than it is to mass a Rambai. No siege tower? Apparently not. Like, siege tower would be an ultimate clown move over here. I completely forgot about that, but yeah, siege tower crossbows would be super, super clowny. Okay, apparently Freighty sees boom for Song Song, so he's just sitting back, chilling, booming. We have Freighty sees boom as well for Soul. And we have 1 castle run by, and you still have 5 villagers on stone, so this is going to turn into a double castle run by play from Say My Name. Eventually. For now, no one is really picking up the relics, something I noticed. In fact, Bad Boy is also doing a free TC boom. So they probably just want to deny relics here, but as things stand, Bad Boy and Song Song are gonna have way better eco than Say My Name and Soul. Because it's going to be free TCs for both players on this team. It's only 1 TC over here for Say My Name. So he's gonna get pretty much outboomed quite hard. He already have a 4 villagers lead on Bad Boy's team. I love this Palisade Foundation from Song Song. You pretty much see this wolf and you place a Palisade Foundation on it. This means you see the wolf. However, if any military unit or villager walks by, the wolf is going to move and you're going to see the wolf leaving this tile of Palisade. So this is actually a very, very nice way to see if there is any villager or military coming that way. That's something that I think quite a lot of Vietnamese players like to do. Sometimes it's done by other players as well, but I think Vietnamese are actually the players that use this the most. Anyways, that's not a lot of crossbows, but here comes a monk. So, let's see, Rambai will try to drop all the darts on top of that guy. Get the kill on the monk, no conversion just yet. Fun historical fact, the Arambai is actually the name of the dart they are throwing. So this is theoretically a Meitei cavalry, and the weapon that they're using, the dart itself, is the Arambai. Just a fun fact. Alright, so 3TC is still more and more crossbows being added by Bad Boy, but not really a lot of aggression. They're just pretty much running around trying to fight for a few relics. But honestly, I'm not sure about these Arambai right now. What are they achieving? They're achieving nothing, and it just basically means Say My Name's team is gonna get outboomed. Just like Karambit and Shoro, pretty much, yes. Exactly. But I think it's actually even more surprising because, like, Karambit is actually called Karambit Warrior. So that tells you that it's actually a warrior that uses Karambit. Same thing for Shoal Warrior. Here, it doesn't say Arambai Cavalry. It says Arambai only. Which Vietnam teams are these? I'm not sure, unfortunately. But hey, Bullet Chen. Alright, Spearman pokes down one. Nice one so far. And honestly, Bad Boy's crossbow play here might just be a response to the Arambai play. So, normally, I don't see the reason of using a large amount of crossbows on Arena because apparently Bad Boy has no intentions of getting through walls with those crossbows. I feel like this is all about just, you know, fighting in the middle with crossbows and booming behind. So, to make sure that the Arambais aren't able to solidify a forward position and drop a siege workshop. So, you're just pretty much keeping those Arambai away from your walls and preventing your opponent from dropping a siege workshop and pushing you with that. Or maybe even a forward castle, because with a castle Arambai play here, if your opponent is playing passive, you can drop a castle in his face. That could be something to consider. But look at Say My Name's Eco. He's got 44 villagers compared to 74, 77, 58. Now this is actually a little bit surprising that Bad Boy has only 58 villagers considering he's on 3 TCs. But he only has... Actually, he has 30 villagers on food, so I have no idea how he has only 3... well, he has 3 TCs, but this low villager count. That's actually very surprising. Now, Arambai are actually pretty scary once you have good numbers of those. So you still have to watch out for those bad guys trying to bash their way through the walls. But it's a 20 villager combined lead for Bad Boy's team. Looking at the T-cell time, Bad Boy has a lot more T-cell time than the other players, but not by a massive margin over here. Speaking of relics, I'm just gonna bring that up. You can see this is the relic column for each player. 1 relic for Song, rest of the players, you have 1 for Say My Name as well. So 2 relics picked up and 3 of them are still on the field. Song is about to get some more, I believe. Indeed, there's going to be the 2nd relic for Song, potentially the 3rd one as well. So at this point, it's 3 relics for Song. He's got 83 villagers. But you have Imperial Age coming in here for both Song and Soul. It appears that we're gonna have Halberdiers pushing for Song, as you would expect. Because you probably know that your opponent with Indians is also going for heavy camos, indeed that's the play. So, the tricky question here is when Bad Boy is going to be able to stop the Arambai. Because if you don't stop the Arambai, the Halberdiers will die very, very easily. Arambai just melt Halberdiers. However, if the Arambai cannot kill the Halberdiers, they're just gonna overrun the base of Soul here. This is actually getting tricky, because the Arambai are bashing their way through the walls. There is a castle coming up here, fortified wall in. For Song with a defensive castle, this is fine, I think, for him. This is completely fine, because he's gonna have the defensive castle, and he's gonna be an Imperial, so he could start trapping this one down. Whereas here, he was already having a forward base with Rams coming in, so even if he loses some part of his base here, the Halberdiers and Rams will be able to push Soul, and this will force Say My Name to run back over here and help, because Soul is going to die without Say My Name's Arambai. To the Halberdiers now, this could be pretty scary. That's a lot of Arambai. I don't think they have Manipur cavalry, but they're going straight into the base of Song, and that castle isn't up just yet. Oh, that could be a lot of dead villagers. That could be an awful lot of dead villagers for Song. On the other hand, these Arambai are now trapped inside. So this means that once the Ram plus Halberdier blob starts moving over here, Soul could be in huge trouble. On the other hand, Bad Boy is gonna lose quite a lot of Vultures. Crossbows, you wanna have staggered formation against a Rambai because large amount of Rambai basically do area damage. So you wanna have your crossbows split up as much as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna eat a lot of damage. But now with ballistics, they're actually cleaning up the Rambai more or less. Camo's in here, but look at this. So many pikemen, and these are Teuton pikemen, so they have a lot of melee armor already. Even without the upgrades, you have a pretty decent melee armor, and that's the problem right now for Say My Name's team. That these Rambai aren't really able to help out in this fight, and the pikemen or Halberdier and Siege here could just steamroll Soul. You need to be able to deal with the pikemen, otherwise you are in huge trouble, and a lot of those Rambai are weak, so even this few crossbows could clean this one up. Apparently Camos might try to run inside of here. Castle under fire from a trap. And eventually, I think these Rambai will be cleaned up. Bad Boy or Song Song didn't lose a lot of Vultures. He's still at 97, which is fine. And it appears he's just chasing Camos with the pikemen. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, it's a little bit tricky because he doesn't want to die here, and this is a pretty dangerous scenario. Nice quick walls, getting the barracks up over here, 2 traps, taking the castle down, and these guys eventually might get cleaned up. Are they gonna get cleaned up? Apparently not. And just a few Rambai here could still stay here and just be annoying, but most of those are very, very low HP, so might be enough here for Bad Boy to clean that one up. Castle will eventually get trapped down. Now there's more Rambai though for Say My Name, and that could pretty much stop that push from Song Song. This is still tricky because there's a lot of Rambai from Say My Name. He's still in Castle Age, but Rambai are so strong that it might be enough to hold back the Halberdiers. I think what they need right now is Bad Boy going Imperial with Arbalest. He's already in Imperial, so there's just no Arbalest right now for him. More and more crossbows coming in to clean up the Imp Camos. Well, Imp Camos is just coming in, but it's heavy Camos now inside the base of Song Song. And this looks like a win. Well, right now it's not a guaranteed win, but apparently the Camo Snowball might work out quite nicely over here, because Bad Boy and Song Song are dropping in villager count quite rapidly, and Rambai are cutting off the reinforcements here super, super nicely. And those Camos are pretty beastly, especially once you get the Imperial Age, or the Imperial Camo upgrade. Eventually these guys will get cleaned up, but they force a lot of idle time on the eco of Song Song. And look at this, there's just so much idle time. On the other hand, there is towers coming in for Song Song. He's making hubs, he's making traps. If he had a few rams, that would be even better. Over here, even guard tower upgrade is in. So he just wants to solidify his position as much as possible with the Halberdiers. Right now, I feel like he's just pretty much sacrificing some parts of his eco so he can still make this push. Imperial Camos are also coming in here, and because they have a pretty decent pierce armor, the crossbows or Oblast aren't really doing a lot of damage against them. This is a cleanup over here though. And now those Halberdiers will start rolling towards the base of Soul. And there isn't really a lot of camos to defend against this one. In fact, there is nothing to defend against this one right now. Massive military advantage for Bad Boy's side. Are they gonna turn this around? There's a lot of Rambai and camos now inside the base of Bad Boy with no defense. But in the same time, we are going to see a lot of buildings lost for Soul, and he's gonna have like nowhere to run. Whereas at least Song Song is okay with a 92 eco. Say My Name is also decent now in terms of economy, 93. This is so tricky. I feel like both teams could pretty much lose one player. The difference here is that the Rambai might actually get more or less destroyed by the orbs. You still want to use staggered formation because Rambai will do a lot of damage with cluster up units. But look at this. These guys are mostly cleaned up. Bad Boy's at 79 Vultures. Way more Vultures right now for Soul, but how is he going to clean this one up? Elite Skirms. Elite Skirms aren't really going to stop the siege rams here. Sure, Halberdiers will be pretty much cleaned up by skirmishers, but if there's anything else that can deal with skirms, or you just have rams that knock down buildings, you're perfectly fine overrunning this one. And maybe this is going to be a 3-0. For some time I was actually pretty confident in the chances of Seoul and Say My Name, but now, look at that, 78 military compared to 51, and I think this is actually a pretty scary push here. Because once you get the Rams in, and you should get the Rams in pretty fast. By the way, Bad Boy is just getting looms, so he got raided and he didn't have loom before. Fine, as one would say. So for now it's quite a lot of skirms in the party, but towers are securing you a lot of ground over here. In fact, I'm surprised that we don't have bombard towers just yet. Orbs going to hit the eco of Say My Name. Oh, that's perfect. That's just so perfect for Bad Boy. Look at that. Another few villagers killed. Villager count is still better for Say My Name's team. However, they're losing ground here pretty rapidly. And as I said, all you need is just a few rams to knock this one down. Mangonels, actually. We might see some onagers being used here with the Teuton siege. Market being killed could be pretty annoying. We have some little lags, apparently, in this one. There's another castle for Say My Name, and he's trying to group up the Arambai. But those are still... Castle Age Arambai, look at that. Say My Name is just going into Imperial. One of the problems that you're facing when you're going for an Arambai build is that you pretty much have a very low food eco. That was an onager shot on top of the skirmishers. Another onager shot could actually follow, like 10 villagers repairing that onager for the time being. And it appears that we, even without rams, Song and Bad Boy are gonna push this one. And indeed, these are Teuton towers as well. This is looking grim for Say My Name and Seoul. And it's also looking bad for those who are going to play in the Civil League, because Say My Name's team might be one of the teams in the Civil League. One rare Indian Cav Archer over here, but look at this. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's one big mango shot. Another one could actually follow. Apparently Seoul isn't really microing his units. Arambai coming in from the back right now, but there is less and less space for Seoul to run back to. He's getting pretty much cornered in here, and that would basically mean that he loses his eco. Whereas the eco for Song and Bad Boy are untouched for some time already. There is a castle up, but it is getting trapped down almost immediately. There's just nowhere to run. Stables are going down, and apparently it's also going to be full archer range and skirms. A little bit of friendly fire over there. What am I moving in the US? I'm moving close to Washington, DC. But only in January. So, more and more onagers in here. I'm legit surprised we don't have siege rams here. I'm legit surprised. Now, that being said, there is quite a lot of Arambai that are trying to bash their way into Song's base, but this feels more like just a desperation effort. Siege onager on the way for Song as well. And, I mean, this is pretty scary right now for Seoul. Microing skirms against onagers, soon to be siege onagers. That is one way to lose your entire army. I mean, like, he's playing with fire over here. A lot of those skirms are low HP, so we could see a big boom. We could see a lot of big booms. And just like that army, the chances of Seoul and Say My Name to get into the main event and represent Vietnam in the 2v2 World Cup are fading away. There's just nowhere to run now for Seoul, and I think it's one thing, as we have a big capped ram push over here that could potentially turn things around. Although it remains to be seen, because like there is just so huge losses for Seoul. Look at that, he's running for his life right now. He has nowhere to run, and he's gonna drop in villager count quite massively. So here come the capped rams. And like, yeah, there is some Arambai supporting it, but it's not a huge amount of Arambai. And the problem here is that Seoul is just going to lose most of his army here pretty fast. He's got 29 skirms. Here come the siege onagers. Look at those traps! Look at those traps being set up in the face of your opponent's DC. And as I said, there's just nowhere to run. Absolutely nowhere to run. Siege onagers just melting everything here. 73 villagers for Seoul. Unless Say My Name can carry this game, this feels over. And I think it's not super surprising that we see Bad Boy and Song winning. What is surprising is that they're winning 3-0 over here. And that's a pretty impressive one. We're going to have a castle drop in the face of Say My Name as well. Skirmishers just overrunning his base here, right beneath the castle. You have skirmishers denying this part of the wood line. And like, Soul is trying to reboom here, but once again, he's the one that is just absorbing all the damage. And like, he's down to 39 villagers, 33 of them are idle. It is over. I just don't see a win condition for Say My Name's team anymore. He's about to lose this castle, but it doesn't really matter because it's double the villagers, double the military, and unlike on Nomad, this is like, there's just nowhere to run. On Nomad you can still try to run away, on Arena there's just nowhere to run. Why is ECCM not playing for Vietnam? They are playing. In fact, Vietnam has 4 teams. That is the reason why you're seeing the decider games here. They have to decide which of the 4 Vietnamese teams will play in the main event. Because according to the rules, one country or one nation can only have 2 teams at maximum. ACCM is teamed up with Bacti, I believe, and they will fight against the 4th Vietnamese team tomorrow. I think tomorrow at 13 GMT. I will also cast that. That is going to be an interesting one as well. Tomorrow at 11 GMT, so pretty early in the day, we are also going to have another series that's, I think, the Chinese teams. I think Team NCL versus Vivian Jibatong. That's going to be great. That's 11 GMT tomorrow. That's also a decider on who gets into the main event and who gets into the Silver League. So, now, I mean, look at Soul. He's trying to just get some sort of freedom and space for himself. But it's basically 2v1 now once again. And, well, it's pretty sad to have a 3-0 for Say My Name and Soul here. But let's be honest, they will be one of the main competitors in the Silver League. And Silver League has a prize pool of $2,500. So they still have a chance to get a reasonable amount of prize money here. But it appears that main league is just going to be a distant dream for them. Because, like, now, since you only have a run-by, lead skirms will just be perfectly fine here. Say My Name taps out, and a 3-0 defeat for what I thought is the 2nd strongest Vietnamese team. Turns out that it actually is, at best, the 3rd strongest Vietnamese team in 2v2 World Cup. Bad Boy and the Song looking sharp going into the main event of 2v2 World Cup. That's actually a pretty impressive series from them. And indeed, GG's. So, yep, let's take a look at the stats here in a brief moment. So here's the stats. Song, pretty nice kills, but this is what matters. 50 building skill, 10 destroyed, or 10 lost. That's just crazy. He just destroyed all the buildings in its path. Once again, Teuton Boom on Arena is actually pretty impressive, so you're not surprised about seeing 27k food in the bank over there. And eventually, Song also got 2k extra gold from the relics, and it is just the snowball that eventually happened. Interesting decision to pick the Burmese here. I actually like, in retrospective, I like Bad Boy and Song's reaction to the run-by play. Just going for crossbows, basically limiting the movement and limiting what the run-by can do is actually pretty nice.